Counselor Lehman?
Here.
Counselor Matthew?
Here.
Mayor Swanson?
Here. Report from department heads, no public works, no, oh, fire and ambulance. Did you want to say something, Josh? You're up already.
Alright, so, I haven't been here in a while, I apologize. I know Ted steps in without a question. Kind of keep you guys updated. Again, no FEMA grant this year, no DNR grant. So, that's not a good way to start off, but it is what it is. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is our fire wages. We're currently still at that $6 an hour. You know, it's minimum wage $9.50 right now. You have a hard time expecting people to show up and put themselves in a dangerous situation or inconvenient time or place for $6 an hour.
At minimum wage now, remember there's two different brackets.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
But I am proposing that we up the fire wages to $10 an hour. That way it falls in between what we are paying our summer help and rec. People are making $9 an hour. I was thinking, you know, $10 an hour isn't a stretch for somebody that could potentially be going in a working fire, so.
We'll have to address it at the next
Yep,
meeting
yep.
since we don't have
Right, so we gotta have all the people
3
here.
people to vote
That is
on that.
something that we talked about, we have been talking about for a while at our meetings.
Okay.
The other thing is liability insurance. Again, we operate under Buhl ambulance license, but that doesn't protect any one of us over there. So if we do something that harms a patient or that, we still stand a chance of losing everything that we work for. Through another company that I do work for, they lead us into this protection, our liability insurance. I did print out some information I was going to give today, and I'll let you guys read over that. Basically what it comes out to, if you're an EMTB, it's around $113 a year. If you're a first responder, it's $86. Something that I think once we get these people through the training and they're on the service, that might be something that the service could cover if they're an active employee. It's $1 million coverage and then $3 million for in case it goes higher. You know, it's $1 million per claim or $3 million for multiple. So.
That isn't much of a premium per year.
It isn't. I got one for a paramedic license, and it's not much more than that. But it's that peace of mind when you're going out there in the middle of the night, half asleep. You know, if you make a mistake and something, you got some protection. The Good Samaritan law doesn't protect us, so. So I'll have that for her, and I can make copies so you guys all have time to look at that. And then the other thing that kind of stems back to a few months ago, looking at wages for what fire chief and assistant chief are making compared to some of the other departments and departments in the city. You know, we've, in the past 4 or 5 years that we've been doing this, worked real hard. We try to always come in under a budget. We try to, you know, watch everything we do. But, you know, after talking and kind of different things that are going on, we thought that, you know, maybe it is time that we look at, we don't even know if we'll be the fire chief, assistant chief next year. So this is a next year plan. We're not looking to give ourselves raises. But we did agree on whoever takes it over should be compensated more than what they're getting now for the amount of time and hours that we put into this, so.
Will the budget sustain that? I guess those are the numbers to look at.
Yeah, I mean, all of the budgets are going to,
That's
everything's increasing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I want to, I mean, if we're looking at increasing other budgets for wages, I think we need to take care of a critical service to the city of Buhl. I know most fire chiefs for smaller towns in this area are $450 a month. Ambulance directors are anywhere from another $400 to $500 a month. Just because everything that our crew does, our members do, whether we're there or not, me and him are going to go down for it. Not that it's just, again, that liability. It's a lot of extra time and effort out of our days and weeks. You know, he's been keeping track of his hours now for the last month. Just one of those things kind of was an eye opener for us to see how much we actually do, whether it be on our breaks at work, weekends, vacations, that we end up always either on the phone, emailing, working, meeting with ISO guys after hours. It adds up. And unfortunately, the burnout rate is getting there because you got fewer and fewer that are trying to keep everything going. And so, like I said, I know you guys can't say or vote on anything tonight. I just wanted you guys to be aware that this is stuff that we've talked about across the street, things that we feel importantly about, and we'll go from there. Like I said, we vote every year on the chief, assistant chief, and that, so I'm not trying to stand up here and give myself a raise, but I know whoever does it has to.
Contest to that because them two guys do a lot of work
Yeah.
to keep everything going,
Yep.
It doesn't, after work all night long, Ted's putting in hours.
Well, it's an invaluable service. I don't think that there's anybody who doesn't really appreciate the fact that you guys are there and willing to do what you do.
And like I said, we gladly do it, 16 years, 15 years, we're still actively recruiting, getting our own family members involved. We love Buhl, we want to see everything succeed and continue to go, but we also want to make sure that we're not cutting ourselves out too, so.
Sure.
And then just for an FYI, we know that, 450 is we're not asking for that. We'd be looking at doing, actually, the way it came down is we do everything almost 50-50 the way it is. So the wage would be equivalent, and we're thinking coming around that $600 mark. So it'd be $300 a person.
Well, if we can get all the numbers and look at it, and then we can vote on it at the next meeting.
Provided we got people,
Right. Yeah,
I hear you. It's that time of year, so.
yes.
Other than that, any questions for us?
How have the calls been going?
We hit a dry spell, as good as that is for the community. But what we've kind of been missing on daytimes, we're picking up Sunday night. We had 2 calls in the afternoon, so coverage-wise, we've been maintaining. Chisholm is totally off of our paging now, so we're slowly on our own again. We did have to rely on some mutual aid ones, but we certainly have got away from what it used to be. But yeah, so I'm going to continue to keep in contact with Diana and make sure that our figures and, hopefully we're keeping enough coming in. It all depends on the insurances and.
in other words, it's been a big improvement.
It's been nice. There's a couple people that have, had to use the ambulance service have already, spread their thanks just because it's a couple minutes compared to.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I say, it's one of those things that you hope you don't need, but.
Glad you have it when you need it.
Exactly. And,
Yeah.
It's a good group of people, and I'm very, very happy to be a part of it, so.
All right, well, thank you, Josh.
Yep. Thanks.
Thank you. Ted, did you have anything that you?
Take the night up.
Yeah, no, that's, I just have to agree with him. It is, for him to be on his vacation and having to deal with some stuff the whole time, and he was supposed to be gone, and I was supposed to be able to take over, and it didn't. I really felt bad that he had to deal with a lot of this stuff. But it's a huge commitment, and to find somebody to step into our shoes when we decide to step down or get voted out, it's gonna be a challenge.
Yeah.
So, but I do appreciate the comments, thank you.
Well, thank you both for all you do. All right, attorney, long-range planning and zoning, got a little ways to go.
Yeah.
Recreation Board met last Thursday to go over the beach blast and look at things they would like to do differently next year, and I think they had a good turnout and a pretty good time with that. Library Board will meet tomorrow night. BETA, end of the month, and Sheriff.
The only thing I have, I'm sure you heard the Buhl squad car went down once again. I don't even know if Deputy Thorpe got it back yet or not, but it was brakes, rear brakes, and then early front struts.
Oh, so he was supposed to get it back yesterday.
Okay, you did get it back?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I was been talking to Terry, it sounds like we're gonna try to budget for a new squad for next year.
We're looking at getting numbers, yes.
Yeah, so I had Deputy Pete Olson out of Duluth doing that orders all of our squad cars for the coming, so I had him do his best to come up with figures for a bunch of different squads, so I emailed back to Terry, so
Okay,
that's all I have.
all right,
Okay, thanks, Bob.
Yeah.
thank you. Clerk's report.
Nothing
You have nothing?
out of the ordinary, just working on budgets, working on
Right,
grant apps.
right. I can attest to the fact that you're busy. Every time I come in, you're busy. All right, council additions to the agenda. We need to add this one piece to payroll, is that it?
Yeah.
To the bills?
Add it to our claims.
To add it to our claims for Minnesota Energy in the amount of $401.81. All right. Consent agenda minutes.
Citizens forum.
Oh, citizens forum. Gary, did you want to talk to us tonight?
Not tonight, don't stand by.
All right, okay. Consent agenda minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular minutes of August 2nd.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Claims?
I'll make a motion to accept the total claims of $111,039.76 plus the $401.81 for the Minnesota Energy bill.
I'll support that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. On to business. We have the resignation of Dennis Marks from Long Range Planning and Zoning and the CIRSSD Board. So we will be looking for volunteers and see if we can't get some people to step forward and fill these vacancies.
I'll make a motion that we accept his resignation.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Change order for a Whiteside project. When we were talking with them about this, it was brought up at that time that they were hoping to get just a little bit more time to complete this project. I know John Jamnick kind of thought that that might be pushing their luck after what we went through last year, but I told him that I thought as long as they stick to their date and they don't leave equipment sitting and get at the project, I don't know that that would be a big issue.
And he put this change order in way ahead of time.
Right,
So that makes,
right. He's seeing it
Yeah.
coming, so.
I'll make a motion that we approve the change order for the finish date to, instead of September 30th, October 15th, 2016.
support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Resolution 1618, authorizing the city of Buhl to make application to and accept funds from the IRRB Commercial Redevelopment Fund.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve the resolution 1618.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Can I have the roll call?
Counselor Lehman?
Yes.
Counselor Matthew?
Yes.
Mayor Swanson?
Yes. Resolution 1619, a resolution authorizing the city of Buhl to make application and accept funds from the IRRB Development Infrastructure Grant Program.
Also move that motion.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Roll call?
Counselor Lehman?
Yes.
Counselor Matthew?
Yes.
Mayor Swanson?
Yes. Ordinance 16-02, an ordinance opting out of the requirements of Minnesota statute section 462.3593. This is a new statute from this spring. Do you want to address this a little
Yes.
bit for us, Diana?
Certainly.
Okay.
This is a new statute that the governor signed in to law on May 12th, allowing temporary housing on a person's property for taking care of somebody that needs mentally or physically, that needs a caregiver. It's kind of titled the Granny Pod, so you can move grandma in. But it's just temporary housing, but the city has to make sure that they're able to hook up to water, sewer, everything else. And as far as temporary, there is no like end date for
Right.
temporary.
Yeah.
So if we don't opt out of this, we have to do a permitting process for it and come up with fees for it and make sure we get all of that provided to
And
them.
there's no real estate taxes collected for
Correct.
those
Because It's a
units.
temporary shelter.
So the city loses out on it
Right.
pretty
And
big.
as you were saying today, that there's a lot of other cities that
A
are,
lot of cities are opting out.
yeah. Well, how can we split this out? I'll make a motion that we accept the ordinance to opt out of the requirements of the Minnesota statutes, section 462.3593.
I'll support that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Does this require a roll call vote for an ordinance? No?
Nope.
Okay.
So,
I don't think it does either. If it does, we'll bring it back at our next meeting, but I don't think it does. All right, an application to conduct excluded bingo. The Knights of Columbus are asking for their annual permit for bingos.
I'll make a motion that we allow Knights of Columbus to go with their bingo.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. All right, Minnesota Clerks and Finance Officers Association membership,
Boy, that's a lot of money.
$35 a year. Is it really worth it?
yes.
I'll make a motion that we pay the $35 for the Minnesota Clerks and Finance Officers Association membership.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, wellhead protection evaluation.
I had some citizens here in town have brought up their concern, like where our main water tower is and plus our auxiliary down here, that we should have that area completely fenced off and a locked gate so nobody can ever get in there to tamper. I mean, I don't know how much it would take to jimmy that lock on that door to get in there, probably not that much. But the way things are going nowadays, people are concerned about protection for our water source. And about, I'd like to see if we couldn't get some quotes for both of these places to see what it would cost to get an 8-foot fence with the, probably this stuff on top, for a protection factor for our water supply.
Well, we could look into it. And
That's saying, I'll look into it to see what it,
see what it would be. Is there more that needs to be done with this, Diana?
Get a motion on that.
Just a motion accepting
The
the
evaluation?
attached evaluation.
I'll make a motion that we accept the wellhead protection evaluation.
support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Public hearing date proposed 2017 tax levy. The county is requesting the date for the public hearing on the proposed 2017 tax levy must be held between November 25th and December 28th. In the past, we have started our regular council meetings a half hour early and had them at 6 p.m. on the first meeting in December. And we'll be starting going through all the departments then in October. So can I have a motion that we set this date, this public hearing date for a proposed tax levy at the first meeting in December, half hour before our regular council meeting?
Also move that.
Support if that's what you think would work out the best.
It's the
Okay.
way we've always done it, I think.
Yep. Okay.
So it always worked out pretty well.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carried. All right, the City of Buhl's animal control for 2017. We've got the opportunity to go with a different provider.
Correct. Yeah, they sent us information about what they could provide and the costs associated with it.
We talked about that today, there's a little hitch in that. Because we could get stuck for a vet bill.
No. If they would, if the owner did not claim the animal, Contented Critters would end up being
Right.
stuck with it. But in order for an owner to claim their animal, they have to pay the fines to the city, then the city sends it over to Contented Critter. So that's the difference between, one of the differences of what we have now. The Mesabi Humane Society, they handle all of the transactions if there's costs associated with having the animal boarded there. With Contented Critters, we would have to collect the fines, collect the dollars, and submit it to Contented Critters. They won't release an animal until the city says so, so if we don't get the money,
Yeah,
the animal doesn't get released. And if they have to keep the animal so long, then it becomes their animal.
The city doesn't have to pay any of that money whatsoever then, for anything?
no. This is a huge, huge cost benefit to the city to
Oh, yeah.
switch it over.
$120 a year compared to
For 10 animals?
Well, yeah,
10.
for the first 10 and then it's prorated after that, but, I mean, we went months with one cat
Yes.
How
Yeah.
many animals have had this year?
in a year. I don't know how many
Yeah, 3.
animals we've had all year.
What was it?
This year is 0.
Zero.
Last year it was 3 cats.
Yeah,
So to go from 5,000 a year down to 120 a year, I think it might
The
be,
other thing is they don't offer weekly monitoring,
I see that, yeah.
which we have that now for like 15 minutes a week.
Yeah, which,
or whatever, you know, they do drive through and, yeah,
So I don't really think there's much of a,
a benefit loss with that.
okay,
I would really like to give them a try anyway.
yeah.
Are we,
I would like to, I'll make, just for one part of this, I'll make a motion that we do the 30-day written notice with Mesaba Humane Society.
I'll support.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Now, when do you want this 30-day? Are we going to wait till the end of the year to do that?
yes, because we've already paid for this year.
Yes,
So that 30-day notice will go out the beginning of December?
yep.
And then in January, do we want to begin a contract with Contented Critters?
Yeah, I mean, we can try it to see what happens. Like they say, they're within, they'll be there within 45 minutes, and you can call them 24/7.
It's a 1-year contract.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
We can't get money back from Wasabi for the rest of the year.
No. No.
so do we want to make a motion to contract with them for next year?
I'll make a motion that we contract with Contented Critters for 2017.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Library and bus garage roof drains. The library has already voted on going with the lower bid to get theirs taken care of. This is the I&I situation that we have been running into with the runoffs. And the same contractor has the low bid for the bus garage over at the school. And
Was that is that the, okay, I see. All right. Okay, where would this money come out of?
the general fund,
General fund. Probably the 401 capital improvement fund. There's some funds there.
I assume that we need two separate motions on this?
No, we're not gonna approve the one for the school,
libraries are-
or the library, yeah. The library board approved theirs, and that'll
that's
come out of
already
library
approved.
funds.
Oh, okay.
That's just kind of for your information, but the one up at the garage, we need to either accept or reject, whatever we're gonna do, but
Reject or table.
we're kind of at a point where we really have to do this stuff though, right?
We do need to get our I&I issue fixed. I mean, it's gonna be, it's not just the flat roofs, the drains, it's a little bit of everything, you know. We did
Yeah.
the smoke testing and we found a few cracks, so we're gonna have to work on that but every little bit helps because we get charged 50 cents per 1,000 gallons. So, I mean, in the past, it's,
My feeling is, once they do all this on both buildings, I don't think it's gonna make a difference at that flow down there.
you don't think so?
Nope, I do not. I mean, our engineer showed it on paper about that extra flow that goes through there and what it involves. It was absolutely, it was like a drop in a bucket,
Yeah.
you know? But we do this, and then they still got some, you know, we still got the overflow, then what? Then we gotta,
Yeah, we still, I mean, the roofs aren't just the only issue.
No,
They're just
no.
a small part of it.
yeah.
But like this year with all the rain, we're getting it's inches when it does rain.
But he
Right,
had all his stats on that here that
Right.
day. We're looking at it, and it wasn't,
I know, but
you know,
if you can help
well,
a little bit.
yeah.
I think we got some other issues there, especially with that lift station, but
Well-
that's to be addressed on another day.
I make a motion to table this till we have full counselor.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Let's have this at a full council, we'll table this.
All right, that sounds good. Do we need a motion for that?
Yes, to do.
All
I'll
right,
make a motion, we table the issue of the repair and the roof drains on the school bus garage.
Second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Oh, the France location property, a year and a half later. But it's pretty well laid out at this point. I guess it would, is this something that, well, the sooner we get it up for sale, the better, I think.
And that I'm assuming that's the parcel A that's
Yes.
on here.
Yes.
1.86 acres.
Right. Right. And you see what the city has put into it for fees, $4,200, and the original value of that lot over there was $4,700. We should set a minimum amount for what we would accept for that. If we're gonna advertise it out for a low bid, and then we've gotta put a time frame on how long we wanna advertise it.
That was my question. How are we gonna sell this? Either put it on auction or
Advertise it and have closed bid.
Have a 2-week bidding period and close it or something like that, or 3 weeks or 2
And we
weeks?
could put it in the paper and post it around town
And then do
Sealed
closed bid.
bids.
They come in with sealed bids, anybody who wants to put in a bid for the property.
oh, I was thinking if we put it on auction, it'd probably go. What if it went for more than what somebody?
Who's
Not sealed bid.
gonna auction it?
I don't know. An auction company,
Have do bid do it,
you know?
talk to them about it,
Because if you
I
did
don't know.
use something like that, like
a service,
the amount of people that he can
market it
market
to.
to would be quite a bit.
We'll have to check out his rate, his percentage rate, what he charges. You know?
Yeah, and there too, we'd have the minimum amount we'd accept for it, because,
Okay, now, I don't wanna make this sound wrong, but do you think this is another item we should have the full council here for?
I was thinking too.
yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
With only 3 of us here
Yeah.
tonight, maybe put it on our next agenda. And in the meantime, if you could find out for
Sure.
us, Diana, what do bid would charge to auction that, or how that would work.
I'll make a motion that we put the France location property deal on, table it until our next meeting.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. All right, I think that's everything. I have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Thank you.